he knows that his audience is comprised almost entirely of people who want anti-Hasan content. And that happens to be Destiny's community. He doesn't attack Asmongold because he's worried about losing his remaining fandom that is, again, pro Asmongold, pro Destiny.
Ethan Klein has been getting a lot of people going after him, doing a lot of foul things, and Hasan Piker believes he deserves it. Yikes. Yeah, Hasan Piker, Mr. Good Guy, right? Cares about everybody, so he says. Fraud.
Literally more canceled than I'm genuinely close to giving up. I don't know if this is real or not because it sounds pretty crazy. I feel like the whole purpose of crisis PR is to literally rehabilitate the imagery of what do you call it? Like some of the worst of the worst. Like, I mean, these guys get like, they work with Kevin Spacey, right? I mean, they've worked with Jeffrey. It's crazy. He probably just didn't want to pay the price or something. I don't know. The reason he went to these firms is because his subreddit keeps telling him you have this massive PR firm that's giving you all these interviews and articles. Yeah, he does not understand that, like, I don't think he understands that I do not have a PR firm. I have never hired a PR firm. I don't have a PR firm. These are journalists independently reaching out. To do interviews or to ask me what my take is on like coverage. And in spite of all of the negative, like insane negative YouTube videos out there, framed around like how I'm the biggest villain that American society has ever encountered.
I wouldn't say Hasan Piker's the biggest villain. He's pretty nasty though. I ain't gonna front. He's pretty foul. He's done a lot of disgusting things, and I would even say that he's demonic in his actions. But I'm not really feeling this whole victim thing that he's doing. He wants himself to be portrayed as a victim and as a savior at the same time, and as a tough guy. I remember when he was talking about putting people in lockers like he was in high school again. And you know he wasn't doing that in high school. He just gives off soft energy. But yeah, nah. He's a clown is what he is. Also a fraud. And I just don't believe anything that he says. He has his whole campaign going after Ethan Klein. As far as I'm concerned, yeah, that's exactly what's going down with him and his orbiters. I think eventually he's going to start even dumping on his orbiters, bro. Because he has no values, no integrity, and no loyalty for real. If he can make a buck off of dissing you and trying to go after you and going beyond crossing lines, he will. That's Hasan's MO.
People are adults. They have the capacity to see right from wrong. And as long as you just keep, you keep to your message, as long as you keep to your commitments, like people will eventually realize that maybe some of the disparaging remarks that are coming from right wingers and all these other people is just bullshit. And that's why I always say, like, there's not really anything you can do other than be consistent and be as charitable as you possibly can be, and just keep pushing through it, no matter what people throw your way. And it's like very strange, weird how anyone goes against Hasan ends up being libeled and slandered in oblivion by Hasan, his orbiters, and his army of simps. Weird how people who obsessively attack and defame Hasan end up crying and blaming him when the general public criticizes them for their own words and actions. Click this link, scroll down, read the thread. This is why people hate Ethan. I mean, I'm not gonna dive too much into it. Like, I think everyone at this point knows what Ethan Klein is about, and the only reason why everyone knows what Ethan Klein is about is because of Ethan Klein's own like steadfast advocacy, sometimes directly being pro-Israel and other times, or most of the time, attacking Israel's critics.
Oh, you knew he was going to put Israel in this. You knew. When he go to the drive-thru to order fast food, he be like, let me get a number 2, and you support Israel, don't you? That's what, out of nowhere. The person that's like at the drive-thru is just wondering, what's wrong with this guy? They like, listen, Hasan, this is like the 3rd time this week. We had enough of you. If you don't come up to the front and get your nuggets and fries, bro, what Valkyrie you want? We don't care. Hurry up. I don't know why. Just act like people at drive-thrus use a cell phone. He out here hustling in the 80s. Like, what you want? Pull around the corner, and then we got that. Like they Nino Brown from New Jack City. But I digress. Hasan is a clown. And yeah, I'm not going to sit here and act like Ethan Klein and H3H3 is perfect, right? I definitely have given them their fair share of criticism, without a doubt, and probably will continue if they mess up again, right? I don't have any sides, but what Hasan and his crew of orbiters is doing is beyond disgusting. they're aligning themselves with this group that's obsessed with Ethan Klein and trying to take him down and lying on him and slandering and all this stuff. And they're just trying to make it seem as if all this information is facts. And it's not, just so they could justify them hating and crossing lines. And I'm just not with that. And it ain't just Ethan Klein that Hasan and his orbiters are doing it to. It's anyone who goes against whatever their opinion is, political or anything else. At one time, Ethan Klein was actually a friend of Hasan. Hasan's willing to do this to a friend. Says a lot.
And that's it. That's it. He has created this weird orbit of right-wingers because he's decided that, you know, people like myself, people who are anti-Zionist, are his number one ops. Of course, people are eventually going to learn that lesson, right? And he's destroyed his own career in the process. And it's so crazy because, like, I explained this to him literally 2.5 years ago at this point. Yo, keep the burnt peanuts name out your mouth. Stay in your lane, boy. Okay, buddy. Because he knows that his audience is comprised almost entirely of people who want anti-Hasan content. And that happens to be Destiny's community. He doesn't attack Asmongold because he's worried about losing his remaining fandom that is, again, pro Asmongold, pro Destiny.
Saying Ethan Klein is on the right is crazy. You had a whole show with him about y'all both being on the left, and it was called Leftovers or something like that, right? Huh? Now he's just like, you disagreed with me on one topic. You're right conservative now. You're Republican because I said so. I deemed you one, so now you're one. That is idiocracy at its finest. Hasan is crazy, bro. Like, almost everything he says, if you did the opposite or interpreted the opposite, you'll be fine. You don't know what he's talking about, bro. He just jibber jabbing. I ain't never seen somebody jibber jab so much. Well, you got iDubbbz too, but then he's just copying Hasan. He's like a Hasan Jr. Because iDubbbz's husband, Anissa, is the Hasan Jr. and he's the junior of her. Never mind. Y'all don't want to know about that.
You will become a vehicle of hatred. You will become you will lolcow yourself pretty much because, like it or not, a lot of the people who oppose my worldview, a lot of the people who oppose me end up doing a lot of shit. So you're aligning with a lot of horrible people. And sometimes that might feel welcoming. Sometimes that might feel comforting because who doesn't want affirmation, right? Everybody wants that. Everyone wants a sense of community. Everyone wants to feel loved and everyone wants to find agreement, right? But before you realize it, you have surrounded yourself with not like-minded individuals, not kind individuals, but instead psychos, like absolute psychopaths.
Hasan blatantly describing himself as crazy. Like, that's nuts. Does he not hear what he's saying to you? He don't, like, just take in what he be saying sometimes? No? Okay. Right, does he think about it before? Nah, I should have assumed that. That's definitely his style. Yeah, that was him. He was talking about himself. Delusional, crazy, grifting, just liar. And I know there's some Hasan fans that might watch me and get upset when I call him out like that, but I'm just being honest. Like, this dude is so deceitful, and I'm not trying to act like Ethan Klein is perfect at all, but I'm just calling it how I see it.
This guy seemingly understood that Ethan Klein is a part of this brigade of right-wing chuds who are basically a blight on not only the gaming community, but the culture commentary community in general. Why is Ethan Klein in this photo? Surrounded by all these other fucking lolicon enjoyers and whatnot, because that's his output. That's what he is. That's who he has surrounded himself with. A bunch of like 40-plus-year-old losers who spend every waking moment talking about woke.
So we using a collage that somebody made of a bunch of different creators as evidence or something now. Okay. Yeah, this dude is insane. Like, he just be saying stuff. Ain't no way you thought about that before you said it. You pulled that up and was like, yeah, this is going to be hot fire. They going to love this. I'm going to pull up Twitter because that's a proper source of information. And I'm going to show them this collage that somebody made with a bunch of creators. I'm like, look, if it wasn't so, then why did it show? Shut up. That was blatantly stupid. But what do I know? I'm just a crazy person according to Hasan fans. I'm an honest person. Tell me what you think down in the comment section. Also, hit that hype button. And if you got some extra time, man, check out the video I did about iDubbbz. He's going crazy about Ethan Klein too. He's putting false allegations on him. It's disgusting. You have to check that out. Check out my previous video.